Welcome to Inderes TV. My name is Rauli Juvan, and we're going to talk about Oriola's Q4 and outlook for this year today with CEO Katarina Gabrielson. Hello.
Hi, Rauli.
Hi. So let's start with the usual question. How did the Q4 go from your perspective? I know you already gave out some initial numbers a few weeks ago, but...
Exactly. We gave out some initial numbers a few weeks ago, and then today we had a report. And I can say it like this. The Q4 compared to the previous quarters in the year was a little bit like lower in the results, absolutely, as you have seen in the figures. So we've had some headwind. We had a good market-like development, as I see it, especially if you look at constant currency. But we are burdened then by losing dose dispensing contracts, and by that also patients. Also the costs for like inflationary costs that we have partly evened out with then the cost savings that we have, and then also some volumes loss in the pharmaceutical area that we then did in the beginning of the year. Then of course we are also affected by this 10 million impairment that we did during end of last year.
Yeah. If you look at the operational results, you mentioned some logistic costs and then lost volumes both on the Swedish dose dispensing and in the pharmacy wholesale side. So basically 3 items. Can you say anything about the relative impact of those?
I can say it's like quite even between them, as I see it. So it's like, and since you know then that 2 million is also done from the joint venture booking, so then I think you can calculate a little bit better.
Yeah, sure. And then on the loss of these customers in dose dispensing, it's quite clear it's a tender process which you lost. But on the wholesale side, what was the reason for that, and how can you adapt to the weaker volumes?
In the wholesale side, there is like lost contracts in the beginning of the last year that is then affecting now in the Q4. There is also now some new contracts coming in that will then take up like these lost contracts. But in the pharmaceutical side, there is like quite long processes. So that's what we are facing now.
Yeah. And the dose dispensing, I would assume that it's a quite low margin to begin with, since it's a public tender process. So is it still a profitable business with these lower volumes you have?
We are not commenting the businesses on its own. So we give the guidance on the group level. So I will not comment that, but I think everyone who has done public tenders knows a little bit about it also.
Okay. Then there we talked about it last year that there was quite a big management turmoil last year in Oriola, and now also there's quite big changes in the board coming up now in the AGM. So how do you see the company strategy and strategic direction at the moment? Is it clear where you're heading, or will you have a kind of further strategic discussion this year?
Like we said, for this year, we have in like these clear 3 goals with the profitable growth, efficiency, and then the cultural parts. So that's clear. But of course, with the new board now also, and also the management team, we will start again to do more strategic works. Absolutely. And we will present that when we are ready.
Sure. Then going to the outlook for this year, how does the market outlook look? And you guided for a flat earnings excluding the JV. So what are the assumptions behind that?
The assumptions we touch a little bit here already, because we can see, of course, the inflationary parts and where do that go? And then, of course, it's like I also said in the webcast just before here that no one really knows about that, and we are monitoring that. And the other part is, of course, the dose dispensing business, where we have these contract parts. And we are getting new customers in and new contracts in also, but it's another business model that is then evening out a little bit.
Okay. But the market as such, I guess, should be growing as usual.
Market as such is growing as usual if you look at the pharmaceutical side, absolutely. So that I'm convinced on.
Good. And you have been kind of commenting yourself as a turnaround company, and I think that has been the market perspective as well for a few years now. You're guiding for flat earnings, which is of course somewhat disappointing given the level where you are at the moment. So what do you need to do to get back on the earnings growth track?
No, but we need to continue with what we have started with and like really work on that. Then there is of course some things that we can't affect ourselves, but the things we can affect, that we need to affect ourselves. Absolutely.
Good. Thank you, Katarina. Let's get back when the year progresses and see how it goes.
Thank you.
Thanks.